So what do you make of this? What do you make of the whole thing with Paulie and
I think that Paulie is the ultimate promoter. I think Paulie has told the world what his intentions are. I think he wants to fight Conor next St. Patrick's Day in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center, and I think he's just trying to keep this story rolling along. He got into a confrontation with Conor just a couple of days ago. I don't believe, knowing Paulie like I do, that he is telling him, Floyd, any secrets about the sparring sessions or anything like that, and I don't think Floyd planted him. I think he's just trying to promote this fight a little more and then promote ultimately the fight against Conor. So I wouldn't put too much stock into it.
Now, if Conor loses valiantly, I don't think it hurts his brand or UFC, but it is humiliating if Mayweather loses. Do you believe Mayweather has real concerns? You sat down with him. What is your gut feeling on that?
I don't think he has real concerns. I'm wondering just how seriously he took the challenge. I believe he took this fight because he believed it was the easiest fight that would make him the most amount of money. I think anyone who dismisses Conor's chances in this fight, I think anyone who says that he won't land a punch in the fight is being foolish, and they are about to be proven wrong in a little over 24 hours. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. I do think that all the pressure is on Floyd's shoulders. I believe that if he loses, this tarnishes his legacy forever. They will always talk about the fact that in his 50th pro fight, he lost to the martial artist with 0 pro fights as far as boxing is concerned on his record. So yeah, I do think that there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and I wonder just how seriously he took this challenge.
Okay, you have closer access to Conor than virtually anybody in the business of UFC. Dana probably has better access, but you have a lot of it. Now, Conor can talk. A lot of guys talked. Ali talked. Foreman bragged. I mean, that's part of boxing and UFC. But do you think Conor realizes that he is at a skill and experience disadvantage, and he has got to be hyper-aggressive early to completely dictate this fight?
Yeah, he does realize what's at stake. You know, you talk to this is so fascinating about this particular fight. I've never covered a fight before, or even any kind of event before, where the inner circle of one camp truly believes like they're going to shock the world, truly believes that this is actually a mismatch in their favor, truly believes that they're going to knock out Floyd Mayweather, which of course has never been done. And then everyone around them is mocking them. Everyone around them thinks these guys are delusional. Like back in the day when Peter McNeely fought Mike Tyson, he goes out and says, I'm going to knock him out. Everyone's like, yeah, you don't really believe that. We know this. They believe that they're going to do it. And here's the interesting thing. Everyone thinks that Conor is going to try to go out there and outbox Floyd Mayweather. That's a huge mistake, and he's the first to say that. He's not going to try to outbox Floyd. How do we know that? A, he doesn't have any boxing trainers in his corner. All 3 of his cornermen are his MMA coaches / sparring partners. He's not going to go in there as a boxer. He's going in there as a martial artist. And 2 days ago at the press conference, he gave us the final sign that he is going in there as a martial artist. When they faced off to the crowd after facing off, you know, nose to nose, Floyd stood there and gave us the traditional boxing stance. Conor then said, this is Bruce Lee expletive, and went down and posed like Bruce Lee. That was telling the world that I'm not going in there as a boxer. I'm going in there as a martial artist. This is going to be MMA versus boxing. This is going to be a dirty fight. He's going to frustrate Floyd. That's what he's going to try to do. Punch him in the elbow, punch him in the shoulder. He's not going to try to slip and dip and actually box him. That's a huge mistake, and he recognizes that. So yes, expect an aggressive fight, expect a dirty fight from Conor, and maybe this is the way to beat Floyd because, you know, what is it, 46 or so people have fought him, 49 in total. They haven't figured it out. They haven't knocked him down, knocked him out. So why not try to reinvent the wheel?
MMA insider Ariel Helwani, who has had his skirmishes, I forgot the one with me, but the real one was with Dana White because he has access that sometimes Dana White doesn't like. And that's
not true. Dana loves me. Are you kidding? Stop trying to perpetuate this myth. We're good friends. I just spoke to him a couple days ago.
Well,
it's all good. No problem.
He's very temperamental, so he may like you today, but you know Dana has, you know, Dana's a very temperamental maverick in his sport. Now, But he's been
very good to me, I must say. He's given me a lot of time and access, and I won't say anything negative about him, despite the issues that we've had over the past year.
Right.
And despite your best efforts, Colin.
No, that's a great deal of dignity here. I like this. Ariel Helwani. Okay. Now, I believe what you just said is the way to do it. There is something that through the years, the bigger fighter after the weigh-in sometimes can gain 8, 10, 12, 20 pounds. Has Conor told you, because I think it benefits Conor to be bigger and stronger because of the elbows, because of when they hold. That's his advantage here. He is a bigger, stronger man. What do you think Conor will go in the ring weighing, Ariel?
You mean going in on fight night, right?
Yeah, like when the bell rings, what does he weigh?
Yeah, so, you know, this is fascinating because I actually spoke to his nutritionist, a man by the name of George Lockhart, who's very famous in the MMA world. And he was actually explaining to me that the difference between MMA weight cutting and boxing weight cutting is actually very drastic. In boxing weight cut, you don't want to cut a lot of weight going down to the weigh-ins. So Conor has actually been doing this gradually and slowly from several weeks out. So he's not going to have any trouble making weight. That's what they tell me. But then after the fact, he is going to try to add at least 10 or 15 pounds. Wow. So I would expect him to be in the range of 168, 170. Now, I also expect Floyd to actually be under 154. That's what he told me a couple of days ago. He's not going to be able, he doesn't usually fight at 154. He fights at 147. He was eating Burger King just a couple of days ago. So there is going to be, at least in my opinion, my guess, 10 to 15 pound weight difference between the two, and that's significant in my opinion.
Well, it certainly is when you get in a clinch. There's no question. And finally, Ariel Helwani.
Absolutely.
Okay, I don't know if you're saving your prediction. My prediction has been 8th round stoppage, a lot of blood. Mayweather lands a lot of punches. He's very hard to hit. He runs mostly, scores blood. And I do think, because of the concerns this fight should have never been sanctioned, whether people agree with it or not, I do think a referee would be quick to pull it if it got bloody and it seemed lopsided. I'm going to go 8th round Mayweather. Can you give us some sort of sense of what will happen?
Before I say that, I just want to say hello to Kristine if she's there. I think she's the real star of the show, and I'm a big fan of hers, and I don't like the way LeVar Ball talks to her. So I don't know if she's there, but hello, Kristine. Keep up the great work. Now, as far as prediction is concerned.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Oh, great to hear from you. So as far as my prediction, this is my prediction, and you may not like it, but this is what I've been saying leading up to the fight. This fight defies all logic. It shouldn't be happening. The commission shouldn't have sanctioned it. Conor shouldn't be fighting in this fight. The UFC historically has never allowed this kind of thing to happen. They don't like to co-promote. 4.5 years ago, this guy was collecting welfare checks, 188 euros. He was standing in a line in Dublin 4.5 years ago to collect those checks. This doesn't make sense. It defies all boxing matchmaking logic as well. So why can't this impossible idea end in an impossible way? Why not? It's happened every step of the way in Conor's journey. He's done it. He's defied the odds. Why can't he do it one more time? I'm not going to be the one who says he can't. That's my prediction. Take it for what it's worth.